Welcome to the Lighter Side Show live. Yay! Maitland's coming. This is going to be really nice. We have a new setup. Hopefully you can see us better.
How's the sound?
Let us know if you can hear us. The mic is right here.
And I'm really big in the corner here. That's what I move up close and I look like I'm so much bigger than you are.
All right, I think we've got this down. All right, 1 week before I release the really great news that I've been holding on to now for like over a month, I'm about to burst. But another exciting thing that I have is I'm in the movie The Play of Creative Consciousness. It is the most amazing thing ever. Like, okay, just between you and I, the first thing I did is I went all the way to the end and I looked at the credits.
Oh.
And oh my God, it's like Deepak Chopra, Dean Radin, Rupert Sheldrake, Neil Donald Walsh, even Alexander, Jamie Butler. And I just was so happy. I started to cry. I was like, God. It's the most amazing thing. So it's 2 hours long. You got to take your time with it. But it's absolutely incredible. They did a great job with it. And I am so honored and so pleased to be a part of it. Amazing. So with that, a few housekeeping notes. We are doing our online classes for basic and intermediate. They're starting to fill up. Join me. It's on the Learn It Live platform. I send you a goodie basket. People are calling it spiritual swag bags, which is adorable. And I give you all the materials that you need to have in front of you while we're teaching the class. And it's really interactive. I want to help you guys get connected to your natural psychic abilities. So if that's something you're interested in, come, show up, because I want to be there for you. That's like my number one passion. Just waking people up. Get up, honey. It's time to be psychic. Can you imagine every day if you heard, wake up, honey. It's time to be psychic today. No. No, please. I don't want to do it today. All right, and then we have our in-person advanced class. That's in March, the weekend of 24th. We'll be here for 3 solid days, just getting our hands all in how to channel, trans-channel. And in September, we're going to do a Luma Summit, and we've already started hand-picking our lecturers. I'm quite excited. So already it's starting to turn out to be a great time. But for now, you get to hang out with Maitland, and I get to leave. Who goes to work to go to sleep? I do.
Okay. And who goes to work to hang out with channeled spirits? I do. What interesting jobs we have.
It is,
Jamie.
It's pretty amazing. Yeah. It's a good pair. Okay. Type in your questions. It's you and Maitland now. I'll see you guys later. Have a great rest of your day. Bye. Ooh, I feel so big in this chair. All right, just get comfy. For a second there, I didn't think I took off the rings and stuff.
You're good.
That's like how Jamie hears the voices. Do you hear them in the other offices?
Yes. Yeah.
Can you hear them? That's like,
I don't know if they can hear them, but we have an office next door where there's a lot of people talking right now.
Can I take these off?
Sure.
Thanks. Hi Lumineers. Remember I said I really wanted to do the one where I get to answer all your questions, and that's exactly what we're going to do. My name is Maitland. I'm 9 years old because I choose to be 9 years old. I don't have to be 9 years old. I'm actually really old. Actually, there's no such thing as time when you're on this side. So, you know, it's kind of funny when we associate to a certain age. We're like, because it's funny for us, but it makes sense to you. It's funny for us. And I told you that I wanted to come through and I wanted to answer kind of the questions that you have. One of my favorite things is I like to remind people where they came from, and I really love animals. domestic and wild, and I really like to help people with their animals. And my favorite thing that I say is the quality of your question equals the quality of your answer. I want that one to be the title. Can I have that as the title?
Sure. I've already typed that up.
Maybe they're making a bunch of stuff over here. It's starting. I can't say.
No, not yet.
I tell them to put my quote on it. Oh, Lumineers, thank you so much for sending in me your pictures. I have so many pictures of your animals and your babies and you, and they are beautiful, and I can't wait to have them all up on the wall behind me. Because it's like you're supporting me every day.
That has been so much fun, getting those.
I love it.
I wish that I could respond to every single one of you who has sent me a picture, because I love them. I love them. And I think some of you, I'm going to come steal your animals.
There's a picture of two pug dogs laying together, and they're a little bit older, and they have the white fur around their face, and I just want to go and kiss them, and kiss them. They're so pretty.
Maitland, I want to let you know that we have a microphone clipped to the chair right here. I just wanted you aware of it.
Hi.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Are you telling me so I don't touch it?
Or just so it doesn't accidentally get knocked off. Or
Okay.
Yeah. Or so you don't.
Do you have
touch
questions?
it. I have questions.
Let's do it.
Okay. You started right off, didn't you?
That's
Okay.
what this one's about.
I know.
Okay.
Okay. So Brenda Megger.
Hi, Brenda.
Brenda says, "Hi Maitland, love you.
I
My
love you
question
too.
is about my Chelsea Luma cat. She went with my ex and then got outside. Is she okay, or has she transitioned?"
Chelsea has not transitioned. And my first statement is, if you know in the bottom of your heart that the cat wants to stay with you, next time the cat stays with you. Because Chelsea cat just didn't want to be there, and then just went for a hike and ended up in a completely different place. Like, if you're talking about neighborhoods, a completely different neighborhood, but has not died. Went on a hike and found a new place.
A journey.
On a journey. That's what happens sometimes in divorces. Like, even the kids feel like they want to run away and find a new place. Next. Oh, I'm not supposed to ring the fingers.
Yes. So Jamie's middle fingers.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, next
So
question.
maybe we could just lay your hands in your lap? Yeah. What do you think? Can you do that? Here you go. Can do this. Okay. So Jules wants to know if you will marry her.
Can I marry you, or can I marry you and your partner? I think, would that be so fantastic if I could
Officiate a wedding?
Well, Jamie's a minister.
I know.
She's done weddings and funerals and all kinds of things. I could just channel through Jamie because she can just sign it, and then I could do the wedding. I could officiate weddings. Would they let me? I would marry you.
I'm not sure.
I'll come to your
I'm not
house.
sure.
I come to your house.
So I have a question from Natalie.
Hi, Natalie.
Hey, I'm wondering if my cat knows what's going on when I'm healing him, and is it helping him?
It is helping. Your cat has a lot of sadness, just like inside, not like depression. I'm not talking like always depressed, but when you're healing him, he absolutely knows what's going on, and it's kind of like healing the sadness away. The sadness is there because he can't speak up and talk to you. He can't speak up and talk to you like he wants to because he's not a person, he's a cat right now, and so there's a lot of conflict, and so keeping up speaking to him like a person is very, very helpful, and the healing is working. The physical body is better, and there's a lot less discomfort, a lot.
Okay. I have a question from Mary Lloyd.
Hi,
Mary says, "Hi Maitland, question about my kitty, Itchy. It's ICHI, so I hope I'm pronouncing that right. She seems to be more skittish during itchy time. Does she not like it, or is there something we can do to make it better for her?"
Oversensitization.
Sure.
I hear it in my head and the
She's
mouth's
just
not
oversensitive.
saying. Oversensitized.
Oversensitized. Okay.
Sometimes when it's like when you're touching the skin, sometimes it happens to people too. Like you go to put on lotion or you go to do something and it's like, whew, that was, the nerves are like really alive, and then just hitting those spots that are normally like the cheeks for kitty cats and the top of their back where they have a lot of their smells that they like to disperse. And when you're having alone itchy time, try less is best, and try warmth, like a heating pad or a heating bottle, or now they have like heated gloves. Well, you can put them in a microwave and then you put them on and they're hot and you can like.
Oh, put them on and then touch the kitty.
Yeah. Then I'm not talking about the electric heated gloves that you only feel on the inside of the glove. It's the kind that you can heat up and then like you could heat up other things. Because warmth right now is a big thing that your kitty cat needs, but touch right now is too much. And I would also try, there's a Bach remedy liquid that you can drop in the water for balanced nervous system to heal nerves.
The rescue remedy?
The rescue remedy. Bach rescue remedy for nerve and nerve repair.
And actually make
that
it
in the water.
One specifically for pets.
Yeah, it's just for pets. Yes.
I think it's alcohol free.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Nobody wants a drunk cat.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you, Maitland. Next question is from Cassandra Leach. I've been going through a lot of ups and downs in my creative life. How can I be an artist and get things done instead of going through cycles of procrastination and bursts of energy? I can relate to that. Yeah.
Sometimes, just like with your energy, you don't have consistent energy. It's a moon energy. And the moon is not always full. So we can't always depend on having full energy for one task. So I would definitely look at your entire month, and I would plan out the month based on how your energy is, because your I know the name, menstrual cycle, the hormones play a lot in your focus and your creativity. So if you want more of the full moon energy, like more of a balance, then I would look at using natural herbal supplements to do that with. And you can find a natural endocrinologist who can test and work with you, or even use a already established kinesiologist that knows how to test for hormone balance. And I would only take the supplements. I wouldn't take the main chemical ones that the physicians and MDs give, because I don't think you need that much support. It's just a little bit of boof. And then you can look at your whole month and say, okay, well, at the beginning of the month, I'm going to allow myself to follow any kind of creative burst or pattern. And then when you're in that moment, and this goes for anybody else who has those bursts, when you're in that moment, like you're starting to wrap up because your task is done or you're getting tired, I want you to write down all the other things that you want to achieve. So you give them titles, and then under the titles you write 3 ways that you can make that title happen, or 3 ways or 3 details that that title needs to have. Because then when you're not in that creative burst of energy and you go back to the list, it can jar you to start channeling and pull in that energy, which can then help balance the hormones, which can then throw you into having the full moon energy. So it's a bit of a domino effect all the way around. And also hydrate, because you absorb and you move a lot of energy through your body, and sometimes that makes it to where your body is dehydrated and you get a little is there a word for that?
Blah.
You're
talking about when you're dehydrated. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to listen to you and read questions that are going
You
fast.
read questions.
I'm trying.
So those are the things that I would try. So I would definitely find a naturopath that does endocrinology, or I would look at a kinesiologist, and then I would start looking at how do you support your body. But then I would honor that you do have a monthly rhythm, and allow yourself to reschedule your life to fit that monthly rhythm, to make the best out of every level you have. Because when you're low, you get really good at organizing. You're not great at creating, but really good at organizing, and you could be really good at marketing and doing the grunt work. And then when you're in the full moon, the high energy, then you could create all the material that could sustain for the rest of the month. I'm done.
Okay. That was a great thorough answer.
Thank you.
Okay, Tom Thurber.
Hi, Tom Thurber.
Tom Thurber has a statement and a question. It's both. There's some very high heels going down the hallway right now. Can you hear them? Tell my higher self, damn good job, Joe. So Tom is really impressed with his higher self.
Damn good job.
I couldn't have done it better myself. Awesome job. I hope your choices for other incarnations are just as good. Are the other incarnations helping me, or am I helping them?
Thurber, you're asking a very detailed question when, in fact, it is going both ways. And I don't mean to cop out and go that route, but that's actually what's happening. But if you would like more detail, I would say to you, in this particular incarnation that you have more awareness of all the other lives than you do in other carnations. So I would say in this life, yes, you would be helping them a little bit more than how you would be helping in the other lives, but it is symbiotic. Mm-hmm. It's a give and receive. Damn good job, higher self. I like that. Wouldn't that be great if we could have like a meditation where we line up our higher self and we do just like you're doing and we're like, high five, good job. And we like give compliments and acknowledge, I really like where you're coming from. I like you a lot.
Tom also has a lot of kitties.
Yes.
Do you visit Tom's house and play with his kitties?
He takes care of a lot of cats that aren't even his.
Yeah.
But
like
he's
foster.
like mama, dad to them.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
He's got a big
do.
heart. Okay, I have a question from Sheila Gibson.
Hi, Sheila.
My 11-year-old dog, Shaman, is acting rather strange. Is he experiencing some kind of health problem? And why does my Benito, 4-year-old dog, get so worked up when I pay attention to the other animals in the house?
Well, your Benito is jealous.
Benito wants to be an only dog?
Yes. And that's not what's happening. And you don't need to rehome her or anything. This is a relationship that can be worked on and it would come out just fine. But I would definitely acknowledge Benito's needs and do some alone private snuggle time. But then I would also break it down where you are with your other animals as equal and giving them private time. But with your 11-year-old acting strange, there is some, it's not nerves. The only way I know how to explain it in a human term, it's like a weird foggy head, dementia head, where it's like confusion. And it's a confusion because of a digestive issue, not because of like a cyst, a tumor, or cancer. And I would start looking at giving him lots of anti-inflammatory kind of a dietary for dogs, turmeric, and more of a raw food diet, but go gradually into it. I would not go suddenly into it because that won't be good. And trying to heal the gut so the gut can process the nutrition and so that the overall system can feel better. Think immune boosting and think reducing inflammation in the body. And just going that simple route will show you clearly show you a lot of great results. Done.
Okay. Elizabeth Barrett wants to know if she will find another job or if she will stay retired.
You can't stay retired. It doesn't work. It's fun, but it's not you. You're a contributor. You've got big heart. You've got stuff to offer. So to stay in retired mode is it's not as fulfilling. And so I see you finding another job, but it's not a full-time job. It's more of like a part-time or a three-quarter job. Do they have titles where they say it's a three-quarter job?
Not that I know of.
It's like a three-quarter job, a little more than part-time. But I see you getting paid very well for it. I don't see you needing to put out resumes, though. It's time to start talking to people that you already know. And talking to them, I feel like it's the grapevine hiring. Keep it simple. And you don't need to put any pressure on it. Well, because if you put too much pressure on it and then it just feels stressful and it feels like a job in and of itself and then it's not fun anymore. I think if you care less about this, like that, then it wants to be in your lap more. Go that route.
Sounds good. I have a question from Heather Monroe.
Hi, Heather.
Heather has a 2-year-old, very spirited niece named Penelope, and she wants to know how she can get her to sit in her car seat. She hates being restrained, and it's always a challenge to get her in there.
It would be more of a job of somebody that's around her a lot. And there's a few things that can be done. Number one, having the car seat in the house and not just in the car. And you can practice strapping in to watch a movie or strapping in to watch a commercial. And so something that would be a stagnant activity inside the house where it's something that she really likes doing. So she can feel that and then receive a reward like the movie or whatever. And then on top of that, I would find out what her favorite smell is because she knows everything and she really does. And find that favorite smell because maybe you have different essential oils and you go, and I like that one. And then you make a little spray out of it and you spray the car seat that favorite smell. And you only spray the car seat. She only gets to smell this lovely smell when she's in the car seat. So we're associating being held in by something good. And then it was the second thing, but it's the third. Thing to do is you can get a weighted blanket and you can use this at night in her room or at nap time. And or let her play or explore with a weighted blanket because then that would help her associate snuggle, being hugged, being held with being strapped in like manually to a car seat. So just getting used to the weight alone would be very helpful. Ding. All right.
I have a question from Colleen Italiano.
Colleen, that's a good name.
Hey, Colleen. She spells it the same way I do, too.
Yay.
Jamie Hun, well, actually, Maitland.
Maitland Hun.
I need your advice. Can you find out how I should, the situation, so I'm going to put in her words, hopefully, how I should take care of the situation with my daughter. I'm feeling very stuck, love. I need some help, please. So Colleen Italiano Mueller needs some advice about the situation with her daughter. Is that enough information?
Kind of, but not really.
Okay.
I see that there needs to be more communication. And it's almost the fact of wanting to help but not knowing how to help. Colleen, can you type back if your daughter is seeing somebody else who is coaching her, whether that's a doctor or a therapist or helping her, like if there's another teacher or something else involved? Because I see another like an authority or adult teacher kind of a person involved that is not necessarily helping the situation in the way that you would want to help or provide guidance. And so that's the part that I want the clarity on.
Okay. We'll see if she types back in.
Okay.
Okay.
Mustache.
I have a question from Josie. Josie asks, Maitland, I often have cravings which I know are actually not food related, yet I end up hunting through the cupboards to try to satisfy them. What on earth am I craving and what is happening energetically? I think a lot of people can relate to that question.
Stimulus to the body is one. So it could be that you're craving action, movement, working out, a point of exhaustion. Just think of how many times a week that you get to the point of total exhaustion. If it's 0, I need to at least see it go to 1. I would like to see it go to 3. And total exhaustion doesn't have to be from physical activity. It could be from a heat room. It's not called a heat room.
Like a sauna?
Sauna. Steam room. Jacuzzi. These are all things that increase heat. So it provides like a physical exhaustion. And sometimes the body is asking for that, but it doesn't know how to motivate you. So it starts craving or wanting. Now, another thing, the body will speak out like this if it requires protein. And since your body doesn't know how to set a craving for a protein, it will either throw into a sugary sweet craving or sometimes a salty. So I would keep nuts on hand that have good protein and good fatties in it and snack on that. And then count them out. I know it sounds really funny, Josie, but you count them out like, okay, I can have 11. And you eat 11. I'm not kidding. Because then after 11, you would be able to identify if the protein that you just got was good enough and that the body doesn't need anything else. But if not, then you can see like if you have an iron deficiency or something of that nature. And then another thing, sometimes your body calls out and craves because it wants the physical touch, and it could be like an intimate touch. Am I allowed to say whatever I want?
I think you can say whatever you want as long as we don't get into her personal life, because I can sense where you're going. I don't know. That's up for Josie to decide.
I'm just talking about sometimes when our body like craves food is because it really wants the attention. Mm-hmm. That could be done through a nice bath, heat, sometimes helps, water, sometimes it's dehydrated, but we substitute that when we think of food, because we're taught as kids when you're growing up that when your body does a call out that it needs to be fed. Mm-hmm. Because that was a one big way of showing that you could care for your body. So your mom or your grandmother, whoever would say, oh, eat, when your body does that, eat. And it was a way of also saying that you had money because you had food, and that you had a status of wealth, and that you were known. Mm-hmm. What's that called? Known, popular, famous. I don't know the name of it.
Affluent.
Because you had the money and you knew how to eat and you could eat and it was accessible. Mm-hmm. So it comes from a really strange, long kind of ancestral thing, but it could be fed in different ways. If you know what I was going to say, why don't you say it?
I don't know. I thought you were going to get into her personal life.
No.
I know a lot of times when I get hungry, I'm just going to throw in my advice here. A lot of times when I get hungry and I don't really feel hungry, it's because I'm thirsty. And just drink some water. It can take care of a lot of things.
Water is amazing.
Mm-hmm. Especially during the winter, because we are more easily hydrated because we're not naturally drinking as much water as during the summer.
And for those people who don't like water, try water with lemon, water with apple cider. You could do cranberry water and apple cider vinegar. There's a lot of good tonics you can make. Hey, that's what we can do. We can do a recipe book and do healing tonics, non-alcoholic healing tonics, or healing tonics that could be alcoholic if you want it to.
I like it. You can help us write it?
Yes.
Okay. We'll put that on our list.
Thanks, Josie.
Thanks, Josie. So Fenna Groenweg, I'm not sure how to pronounce her last name.
She did a good job.
I'm so sorry. Could I have advice for 2017? 2016 has been really a tough year with leaving my abusive husband after 13 years and moving to the Netherlands from the U.S. with my 2 daughters. That's a huge transition.
It's a huge transition. 2016 was definitely about cut it up, tear it up, throw it away. And sometimes things that you didn't really want to cut up and throw away. So you had to make losses in 2016. 2017, is not really about cutting losses. But you know, there's some things that I like about 2017 right here. It doesn't start on time. So the energy doesn't feel like, oh, I just walked into a wall or I just walked through a door. It's more like, and then like a few weeks into it, it's like, wow, I kind of like this. And then as we get into February and March, it's like, whoo, this is great. I feel strong. And I want everybody to be super, super aware, not just you, but everybody be super aware. In 2017, like the February, March, and on, if you can create it in your head, it's going to manifest. So if you're a person who aligns with creating worry or, always looking at the glass like half empty, then 2017 is going to highlight you seeing things half empty and worrying. But if you start training yourself now to see more of the lighter side, that's good, is the name. Hope, positive, if you start doing that, then 2017 is going to highlight that. So whatever you are manifesting in your thoughts and your head, your life is going to manifest for you. But the weird thing is that it won't really do it in sequence. Do you know how you're like, I really want some fruit? And you can look at the orange tree and the orange tree grows and you have all this blooms and then it turns into all this fruit. And you're like, oh, I saw that happen. I know where it came from. It came from the tree and it has the oranges and now I have the oranges and I got my fruit. This is so great. 2017 is like, I want some fruit. And then you turn around and you trip and you look down and somebody put a basket of fruit there. You're like, excuse me, is this anybody's basket of fruit? Anyone? Nobody comes it. Nobody says anything. And you're like, okay, so that's for me. And so it'll create some surprises in how things are being manifested for you. But I just want you to know, if you are aligned and you're asking for it and then your life gives it to you, all we need to hear is, thank you, keep going. So I would definitely start changing the way that you want to see your goals. Look at the positive, and I would go through everything. Financial stability, health. I would go through the security of your children feeling supported and loved. And I would start talking to your kids about how to look at the better side of things. Because you definitely want the kids seeing the better side of things, because 2017 will pull it into reality. It's no more of a shredding and tearing up, it's very nice. And if you can land that at the beginning, first 3 months, the rest of the year follows it. But if you're still wired to the lower vibrations, then the rest of the year is going to follow the lower vibrations.
So stay high vibration.
Stay high.
And 2017 will be amazing.
Stay high.
You think that is so funny.
It is. It is funny. Stay high, vibrational.
So Colleen Italiano Mueller wrote back, and I'm losing... Guys, the way that my screen picks up is very different than the way that the phone picks up. Was asking specifically about the situation with her child, and her child is 16 and is autistic, and with the behaviors that are happening now, could end up in jail, is what I remember reading. So that's more specifics on the situation.
Colleen, I still feel like there is another authority figure that you need to be going and talking to, and it's not about the daughter. And I see the daughter getting a certain kind of medication. It looks like in a shot, and that it's shots to help the brain. I wonder if you could do some research on shots that open up the brain's fluid receptors, I don't know what to call it, where the liquid can move freely and then more protein can come into the head, because there's something else that's off balance. It's not just autism. And the hormones are really, I like to say, whack-a-noodle.
Yeah, here I'm getting more. She is autistic and transgender. So identifying as transgender and whether or not, I don't know if your child is on medication, maybe on hormone medication, changing the hormones.
I would like to see the hormones being balanced before they have an opportunity to be changed. I'd rather see them be balanced because you can live a transgender life better when the hormones are balanced to the body that you end up having as you're going through puberty and so forth. And then if you want to make further transitions, it would be an encouragement to do that in the early 20s when things are settled down. But it comes with, I want the other authority, I want the other doctor, the person that's teaching and showing things, and you having a lot of meetings with them, and then that other authority is the one meeting with the daughter, not you. Your daughter won't hear lessons, won't see you as a teacher or see you as somebody who knows better, just sees you as somebody who can't understand. So since you've already been labeled a person who can't understand, it's very hard to get out of that hole. So it's best to go ahead and find other people who she might identify can understand, and then you work that angle and that route. But the doctor person is most important. And I don't see her going to jail, but I don't see the activities being well. And I definitely need to see some balanced hormones and some more fluid movement in the head. That could be from cranial sacral, but I also see that there's a shot that allows for more like protein or more fluid in the head that would help balance that as well. So there's several things going on, and the whole rest of her life, Colleen, is not going to be like that. But I would definitely, it's going to be an interesting ride until about 23, 24, and that's when you start meeting your daughter all over again because there's tons of stability and consistency, and you're just, because you're always going to ride the wave when she shows up. It's just like this. So around that time, you don't have to anymore. Things are much more settled, and she'll find that happiness, which will be a huge relief as a parent. Ding.
Ding. Okay, I have a question from Kim Farrow. Kim would like to know when and where her daughter is with her.
When and where? 24/7.
All the time.
All the time. So I wish I could say she particularly likes it when you're in the kitchen or crawled into bed in the evening, but it's kind of a 24/7. I think if you're looking at Kim of wanting to know when's the best time to acknowledge or maybe receive a sign or something like that, I would look at the times where you're kind of like can't hold a thought in your head, where you're like, You're not depressed or sad or anything. You're like, okay, but there's not really anything to think about. So you're just like, When you find that moment, that's the moment. That's the moment that you start going, okay, come here. I'd like to have a hug. Come hug me. And stay in that kind of not thinking, not expecting anything. Like, don't imagine getting a hug. I just want you to ask for one and then just stay you and then receive the hug. And when you receive the hug, you start to receive how it feels. And it's really wonderful because then you can't explain it. You can't explain why that's happening. It's kind of cool. That's a big thing for people to start recognizing when their imagination is doing things and when their intuitive body is getting messages. That's a big, once you got it, you have it forever. It's like riding a bike. But sometimes learning how to ride the bike and keep the balance is really difficult. And, I just encourage people that when it's your imagination, you're constantly just generating the experience and you're having to create it and focus on it, and kind of maybe the feeling in your body might be overdoing it. And that's when I would say, time out. putting too much in, step back. Because when it's intuitive, it's like coming to you and you feel like you're running to keep up with it, and you're just like managing the thought and the sensation and trying to understand it. And, it has a much different kind of sensation and relationship to it. Ding.
Okay, I have a question from Saren Smithfin.
Say that 10 times
I
fast.
love that name, Saren Smithfin. Hello, Maitland. Do spirit guides actually stay silent if they feel you are not doing your share of spiritual, emotional, mental, or any other work on this earth plane?
Stay silent. Nope. Wait until you get here. We're going to hang out and laugh so much about how we are not quiet. But there's only a few occasions that we stay quiet. And it's not even that we are vocally quiet, because we're still actively participating. So when you set up something in this lifetime that you need to experience to get an outcome, we can't interfere. So if you set up something and it's not a good something, like it was car wreck to lose 2 legs, and we could have interfered or not letting you get in the car, we could have caused a different kind of wreck, we could do things like that energetically. Energy is really powerful. Do not underestimate what energy can do. Dude, it can grow back cells in a body. It can heal cancer. It can get rid of tumors. It could grow parts of your insides back, and I'm not even exaggerating. So we could do things like that, but then we would be taking away everything that you kind of lined up in this life to experience by not having legs, and then by learning a whole set of other rules to go with that life. So not our job. We have to stay silent and support you in the decisions that you've made. But if you're about to have an accident you don't need to have, because you're not going to glean or gain anything from it, you bet that we're going to be loud. You bet we're going to make a flat tire. We're going to make you forget your keys and go back inside. We're going to do these awkward little things where you're just so irritating. But that's us and kind of guiding and shaping to get you into a better timing frame. But because you're not doing your spiritual work, that we stay quiet? No. Because if it's something that you are interested and you want to develop more, we want to be there for you. Now, does it sometimes feel that we're silent because you have a higher expectation of how you're going to communicate to us? Like, you want to see us, you want to hear us, you want us to be just like people because that's what you're used to communicating to, and it doesn't happen? That doesn't mean that we're silent. It simply means your expectations are too high, because we are not people. We are spirits, and we have a different set of energies. We have higher vibrational energies than people do. And so we can't just come up to you and push you over and say, hey, come sit with me and listen to me tell you this joke, or this is what's most important, because you're holding us to an expectation that we don't resonate well in. But if you kept us into a place where we could resonate very well in, and you did the work in discovering how to really communicate to subtle energy. Subtle is just that word. It's really subtle. Like, some of us, we put on clothes, we don't even feel the clothes on our body anymore. That's how but some of us, we put the clothes on and we're like, we can feel every bit of it. Every bit of it. And so that's subtle. That's having a different perception and awareness of a subtleness that's around us. And if you practice more in that, then absolutely we would be much louder to you than if you chose not to focus on that. But we would never hold our voices back.
I hear the tummy. Okay, I have a question from Valerie Brurabe. Hi, Maitland. My Uncle Danny has passed away last year in a work accident. I want to know if he suffered and if he is okay in the afterlife. Thank you.
That was totally an accident. That was not done on purpose. And boy, a lot of people on Earth are still feeling really, really bad. Your uncle's first request is that people stop feeling bad because it's a bummer. And he doesn't like that. And he says hi. And then to answer your question about the pain, there was pain. I hear your stomach. Our stomachs are loud. The answer to the question about the pain, there was pain at the beginning, but it was more of like a sharper, quicker pain, he says. Like if you were to get electrocuted, you wouldn't continue to feel like you were getting electrocuted. It would be like the first bit of the sensation, and then it would just kind of be so overwhelming it would go out. And he says that's what was happening to him, that he did feel it right to begin with, but no, there was no long-term or extended pain, and there was actually no suffering. It took he's sharing. And he says it took a little while for his body to die, but he wasn't attached to the physical body as his body was trying to die. I'm sorry for saying it that way because it sounds a little disrespectful, but it was how it was shared. So he was already outside of the physical body and disconnected to it while it was doing its thing of choosing not living anymore. What was the other part of the question? He's funny.
How's he doing now?
He's doing
How's
great.
he doing?
He's doing great. He said he's working very hard on trying to get people to stop feeling bad for him because in the place where he is, he says he's not feeling bad. And he says he's going to pull some pranks for the holiday seasons. He wanted to say get ready for it, but then he thought if he said get ready for it, you'd be ready for it and you'd miss it. So don't be ready for it. That's what a prank is. It's a surprise. He's very nice and too detailed. He says hi to everybody and then he says bye. Next.
Okay, I have a question from Cheryl Bull, and Cheryl asks, how can I help my autistic son? He is 23 years old. Also, she has an older son with addiction and legal troubles. I think she wants to be able to help. Cheryl, I'm not clear on your question. Are you asking about two sons or one son who is both autistic and has addiction and legal troubles? Maybe we'll come back.
Two.
If we could, two different ones. Okay, Maitland knows.
The one with the autism, please remember there is a universe inside of his head and the universe is functioning just fine. And it is a really big struggle to see that the translation of his universe inside of him and then coming out is not working. And he's asking for more computer use. Apparently there's computer programming or computer design that fits his needs. And I see that it's not exactly cheap, but it works extremely well with what he's looking for because it gives him a lot of relief to be able to engage or play without being judged and without having a time frame put on him. And it looks like the controlling system is different than other gaming systems so that it helps him better as well. So that's the biggest wish list. And the second wish list on his list is that the emotions that you hold when you're around him are more happy and less I'm sorry. He's done with the I'm sorry energy and he doesn't like it anymore. So when he sees it, it really sets him off. And it is like he sees it. It's not because you're walking in there going, I'm sorry. You could be in there smiling, but still having a aw energy. And he sees it and feels it and is extremely sensitive and psychic about the emotions. So having on funny things, having on music is huge. And having fun lights. Have you seen the twinkly light laser things they have now? You can put them indoors and you can turn off the lights and it looks like you have stars. It's incredible. So bringing the universe to him. The other one? I do not mean any disrespect when I say that you have done your job as a mother and that it's a time to allow your son who is an adult to be an adult. So taking less responsibility of current actions and taking more responsibility of who you are as mom, and keeping the line open to listening and communicating, but not offering, not interfering, not coaching, and not mothering. So a lot of it is we're asking that you pull back. And I know that goes counterintuitive to what you would like to do when somebody is not doing something that is great for them because you really want to take care of them, but that is the best maneuver because when he falls, he needs to fall hard so that he can learn his own power and his own responsibilities. Ding.
Okay, I have a question from Lindsay Pham.
How many more can I have?
We have so many questions. It's actually like I'm over here with getting a broken heart that we're getting so close because we have so many questions that I want to get answered.
Is this something that we can do every now and is this something that we can do on a schedule?
Yeah, we'll talk to Jamie about it.
Okay.
I know you'd do it every day if you could. Mm-hmm. So we'll figure something out.
When you need something and you're at home and you feel like you really kind of want the answers, it may be that you don't feel like you're the best psychic or intuitive, call on us because we really want to help you learn and get those answers, and I'm happy to come to your house to help. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So I think according to time, we'll probably take 3 more questions, including this one. Okay. So this question is from Lindsay Pham, and
Hi, Lindsay.
She says, "This is Lindsay P. Please allow me to take a message from my son Michael, who was murdered earlier this year. This is my first holidays without my son, and it will be very tough. Please help."
Michael's really good at bilocation, where he can be in one place and another place at the same time. Of course, energetically, we do that all the time. I've divided myself in 1,000 different ways because I like being with everybody at the same time. I like helping people, but he's kind of been at home quite a bit since his incident, and now he's really learning how to start dividing himself to be there for people. And I don't ever want you to think that him dividing himself makes him a lesser quality of a presence, because that's not true. Every division of oneself is a whole in and of itself. So it's pretty exciting. And he recognizes that this is the first holiday, and he's asking if you would go through your pictures. And you have a lot of pictures on your phone and things like that you haven't downloaded, Mom. And he really wants you to kind of get those off your phone, get them protected. And he also wouldn't mind if you gave over all of your electronic photographs to a company that would kind of put them together and make some albums, but kind of put everything and kind of burn them so that if something were to happen, they wouldn't all disappear. Because he says that you don't back up very well on your computers and things like that. And but at least this way, if you go back and you pull out a few new pictures and you frame them, that it gives you something new to look at that's him, like a picture you haven't seen in a while. It could be an old picture or a new picture. And he says looking at things really helps you heal. And he says he's also been messing with the lights at the house, and he hopes that that's not annoying, but that it gives you some kind of comfort. And he's teasing about, this is funny, he says that his mom isn't the type of person to really reach out and do this spirit communication stuff. And so he almost is enjoying more of the fact of watching his mom come out of his shell about these things. And so he thinks that it would be really great if you were to get a flashlight and you take the flashlight and you turn it on, and then you set it down where it shines on the ceiling. And he sees you in the kitchen on the counter, and it's shining to the ceiling, and that you're sitting there, and you ask him, "Are you there? Yes or no?" And then he makes it flash, and he makes it flash. It's a yes. When there's no, you have to do it. Isn't it one flash? Yes, 2 flash, no.
I think you can set whatever.
Or you can set it up however you want. But he thinks that it would be entirely pretty funny to kind of play a little bit right now. He's not in any more pain. He doesn't have any more anger. He really has put a lot to rest, and he says a lot of that has been for you, because of you, and so he's really thanking you. And he really loves you. He's just saying how I love you, and he's repeating it. I love you, and I love you. And he says, and everything is okay. It's not going to be okay because it already is. He says, we're all in the right place. He said, let's start focusing on that more. Sure. He and I are going to hang out later on. He said, bye. I like the flashlight thing. I don't think I've ever really done that with other people.
I haven't heard you talk about that. The flashlight. Okay, so we are going to take two more.
Two more!
And the first one is from Daisy Lou, and Daisy Lou says, Maitland, my dad is so bad with Alzheimer's. Can you shed light on when he will let go of his resistance on Earth? His name is Sam Price from the United Kingdom.
Sam Price is going to go in 2017, and at the beginning of 2017, the first half of it. So get all your goodies in there, get all your teasing, because it gets to a point where he's not going to know much, but you can come in as a friend. You can even dress up as a care provider and change your name and just get to share stories and talk to him, which is fun. And it puts no pressure on him remembering who you are and no expectation on the visit. It's just simply a new visit. So please look at the brighter side of things, but he will go very soon. He doesn't want to go during the holidays. He doesn't want his crossing to be associated with anything like that.
Okay, so this is our last question. And this is from Christine Corrigano Smith. She says, hello, there has been a lot of negativity and arguing in our home among family members, and I was wondering if it is from a negative entity or spirit or the struggles we are going through daily.
No, it is coming from the awful, gross, sorry, it's fine.
No, it's fine.
It's coming from the awful, gross, negative energy in the house, and it is negative energy and an entity who is enjoying negative energy. So two different things to look at. First, if you know how, and if not, research, clean the loose negative energy out of the house, especially out of the land, up under the house, because it's just festering. And you just think about it, it's subtle enough, it doesn't like whack you in your head like, this is a evil house. You don't do that. You go in and you're like, yeah, it's a great house. And then it just kind of, starts to, like a tag, it just starts to irritate you and you're like, I just gotta get this shirt off, I can't take it. And you get really irritated. And so that can feed towards irritation, frustration, arguments, anger, and then indifferences, and then it tears it apart. So then you get into cleaning all that negative loose energy, and then we have to deal with the spirit that's there. And he's not evil. He's not a demon or anything. He's not like that. It's not like way bad. It's a spirit who is a ghost, who crossed over, who didn't transition, who really enjoys arguing and discomfort. And after I clean the house, after you clean the house, then I would go back in and I would ask all the spirits to cross over into the light, and then I would seal it with a prayer. And then I would, and once I seal up the house and all the spirits are away, I would then look at calling in like a mediator, and I'm not even kidding. Doesn't have to be a therapist or anything. Like a mediator or a communication specialist, and looking at areas in the house that you could set up for communication skills, and even calendars or lists and organization of the home because the house is not organized properly to help. And I would start setting the environment to promote better communication. And then in doing that, you guys will lift the air and it'll be everything that you can manage. So it requires cleaning out the energy, getting the spirit to cross over, sealing the house in white light, getting a mediator or organizational specialist to help put everything away in the home and set up for good communication environment. It will really help. And what would be neat is like if everybody knew how to ask that question, that, we're not having a good time and we're arguing, could it be something more than us just arguing? Yes, it can. And in your case, it definitely is. But you can cross that guy over. I'm not worried about that. You can get him out of the house, the spirit. You can.
Thank you so much, Maitland.
Thank you for having me. I like being here for you, and I really enjoy this. And if you ever need anything, just call on me. Oh, keep your fingers to the keyboard, because I'll see you soon, baboon.
I'm not getting anything. Even though I'm sure they're typing, but my screen is frozen. I can say after a while, crocodile. I mean, I can play this game.
Toodaloo, kangaroo.
Cut a rug, ladybug.
Got a jog, warthog.
Cut it loose, bone goose.
See you soon, raccoon.
Blow you a kiss, jellyfish.
Ooh, I was about to see that one.
My screen is totally
Bye bye,
frozen.
butterfly. Is it frozen?
It is.
Aren't
Got a
they-
swish, jellyfish.
Got a swish jelly.
There you go.
You win.
Bye-bye, butterfly. I see that one.
Bye bye, butterflies. Bye, everybody.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Happy holidays. Happy holidays. I'm going to be sad. We're not going to do live filming until next year again. We're going to take a break from live filming.
We're going to be back in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
We'll still be releasing episodes. We just won't be live for the next 2 Thursdays.
2 weeks. I will wait.